All right, BK Stancil and
Jamal Ford here
with Averett Student News, and today we're going to be talking about the issues of kneeling during the national anthem and the impact they've had on both sports and just our political society as a whole. So 2 years, 6 months ago, Colin Kaepernick, the once quarterback for the 49ers, gained national attention by kneeling during the national anthem. This gained worldwide media attention and caused trouble just completely outside of the NFL coming into political and cultural debates.
And I think that, like you said, it's caused a big impact in political, cultural side of things. It's gotten into race, and it's really just a big issue that the NFL has had to deal with. And ever since this issue, I know that sales and stuff have declined in the NFL, and viewers, a lot of people stop watching the NFL and stuff. I think that, in my opinion, Colin Kaepernick is being mistreated for just standing up for what he believes is right. Like, I think a lot of people mistake the reason why he kneels during the anthem. I think that, the reason why he kneels is that people, specifically African American people in our country, get mistreated, and it's just a lot of things that he just doesn't believe in about our country, which is why he doesn't kneel during the national anthem, or doesn't stand during the national anthem. I'm sorry. I think that
Well, I think the way he goes about it and all the things that he's trying to portray that you said, there's a lot worse ways he could go. This is a peaceful protest. He's not hurting anybody by kneeling. And when he was in the NFL and he was doing this, he was using his position and popularity as a platform to speak about important matters, which I think is a very important thing for professional athletes to do, because they're on a platform that not a lot of people are on, and he has the ability to reach all these people and share his opinion and share his viewpoint, and he's doing it peacefully. So Jamal, like you, I'm for it. I think that there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. Of course, it's gonna, he's gonna butt heads with people, and there's gonna be people that don't agree with him. But the way he's doing it isn't hurting anybody, and it's not, causing any issues besides all the debates that have spurred from it. But you could argue that that's a good thing because it's brought attention to the matter. So what do you think about the president coming out in 2017 and saying that all the owners should fire any player that does this?
I think that the president is absolutely ridiculous for his wild statements, always using social media, tweeting wild things about just banning every player that does it, and he was really attacking Colin Kaepernick. He's just wild, honestly. I don't even want to get into the whole presidential discussion, but I think that he could have handled it, like you said earlier, in a much civil way. Like, he didn't have to spread it, make it more like. It seems like he spread the fire more than it needed to be spreaded. Yeah,
and he targeted certain people and called out certain people, and really the NFL, I believe, should handle NFL's matters. And yes, this is happening in our country, but I think there's more important things that he could be focused on, or there's better ways he could have addressed it, instead of making an enemy of people who's trying to stand up for their own rights and do it in a peaceful manner. And, this is 2 years on since this has first happened, and it's not as nationally coveraged anymore. You still hear about Colin Kaepernick, but this has happened worldwide. You've seen baseball players do it. You've seen soccer players do it. And it's even happening outside of our country now, where I saw something that women's national soccer team was doing it in Europe. So this has gotten much larger than just Colin Kaepernick. And I think almost on the flip side, Colin Kaepernick's forgotten that in a sense, because he has since stopped playing in the NFL and tried to say that he was being targeted by the NFL and he's not getting any jobs because of this, kneeling and everything comes along with that. And that's one thing that I do not agree with in his agenda, because if you're a good quarterback, you'll be in the NFL if you kneel before the game or if you don't. And I'm on board with everything he's doing except for trying to victimize himself because of that.
But I think that, in a way, I think that the NFL really is doing him wrong in the fact that they, like, a lot of NFL teams don't want him just because of the aura that's around him, I guess you'll say. And I think, like I said earlier, I think it's just really unfair because he definitely is, a great quarterback. He went to the Super Bowl. He led his team to the Super Bowl. I can't remember exactly which year it was, but he's already proven that he's a great quarterback in the league. And like you said, he definitely deserves to be on a team. And I think that it's just unfair the way that they treat him, all because of what he believes. And like you said, a lot of other people are starting to stand up for what they believe in and speak out against the people who go against Colin Kaepernick. He has a lot of supporters now. And it's like you said, it's quiet down, but over the last couple of years, it's just changed the way people see sports in general. And, it's Colin Kaepernick, that's what he wanted. He wanted us to, really look at the way things are and, change some things about how society works now.
Mm-hmm. And, I would say that I agree with everything you just said and how he's changing the world and how he's bringing it into sports. And I understand some people don't go to a football game to bring politics into it. Mm-hmm. But like I said, Colin Kaepernick's on that platform. He has his First Amendment rights. He has his freedom of speech. And at the end of the day, the United States is a democracy. You can do what you want. You can say what you want, especially in a peaceful manner like he's been doing. And it's been interesting to see how this has unfolded the past 2 years, and it's continuing to happen and going to continue to happen. And I personally don't have any problem with that. I think that as long as people want to express their feelings and their rights, and they're doing it in a peaceful manner, it should go on. And, it's just we're having worlds collide with football and sports as a whole and politics and cultural and racism and everything coming together. And some people don't like it, some people do, but I think at the end of the day, it's for the best.
I completely agree with everything you just said. I think that Colin Kaepernick, like you said, he's just changing a lot of things in the way we see things around the world. I think that sports and people are going to continue to keep a close eye on sports and the way things work in our society. I think that, players do definitely have a right to speak, First Amendment rights. They definitely have freedom of speech, and they shouldn't be attacked for just saying what they believe and what they think is right.
Yep, well, I completely agree. And, if anybody listening has any other opinions, if there's any way you can share them with us, we would love it. But this has been BK Stancil
and Jamal Ford here.
And thank you for listening to our podcast.